Things are slowly settling into place after the election of 9th August. For now, Kenyans are awaiting for the hearing to begin, with a deadline for filing petitions at the Supreme Court set for Monday next week. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on this 19th August 2022. My name is Grace Ongo and a sign language interpreter tonight is Boniface Mureithi. Let's begin. The Kenya Human Rights Commission, KHRC, and the Angaza movement have issued a statement giving their concerns on the prevailing political situation in Kenya. The group raised issues over the failure of over 200 KIMS kits and slow reversion to use of manual voter registers, saying this led to voter suppression. They also pointed out inadequate voter education, which can be attributed to an unusually high number of rejected votes, as Dolly Murigi now tells us.
Despite the emerging concerns on the outcome of the 2022 election, various movements have congratulated Kenyans for the restraint they have exercised. However, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, KHRC, and the Angaza movement has on Friday made several operations concerning electoral processes.
The space to have a peaceful protest, I'm saying largely because I think there are a few pockets of violence, but the fact that at least those demonstrations were not quelled by police, so it was not criminal. They allowed the space to protest.
According to the movement, over 200 KIMS kits failed to identify voters, which translated to a lot of voters who may have been oppressed. And in many instances, it took the IBC hours to allow the use of manual registers to identify voters.
That's why then we had so many challenges when KIMS failed. Officers on the ground who are not able to make decisions on time. So I think those are some of the areas we are saying we need to have proper reforms around our elections.
Very few polling stations, they had a manual register, but many of them did not have. So this is one of the issues that we worried. On the issue of tallying at bombers, it is not only the 4 commissioners who raised that issue. Even presidential party agents, when they were announcing the tallying, they raised to the IBC, but numbers are not matching between 34A and 34C.
The Commission has, however, condemned the unnecessary deaths of people in the country during the electoral period, with Embakasi East returning officer Daniel Musyoka's case being one highly flagged. Musyoka was abducted while on fish duty and later found dead in Oloitoktok. The women leaders and the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, have urged the Inspector General Police Hilary Mutembai to speed up the investigation into the death of the returning officer.
We wish, on behalf of the Law Society of Kenya and its members, to extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of the late Daniel Mbolu Musyoka and assure them that the Law Society of Kenya will follow up on the investigations to ensure full accountability for this senseless and heinous death.
Musyoka is just one of a few others, but one too many. We mourn with our sisters. We feel the pain with these innocent mothers and pray that no other life is lost because of a mere election. We call upon our security apparatus to move quickly with investigations and bring the murderers of our children to book.
Musyoka's death is a second election-related death after the 2017 murder of ICT manager Christmas Sando. However, the Commission has received assurances that the judiciary is prepared to handle all electoral-related disputes. Dolly Murigi, Hope TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Dolly, for beginning our bulletin. Moving on, the National Assembly has kicked off preparations for the orientation of the newly elected members of Parliament in the just concluded August 9th general elections to the 13th Parliament. According to the National Assembly Acting Clerk, Sarah Kioko, the orientation sessions are set to take place on Thursday and Friday next week ahead of the first sitting of Parliament, which will be upon the notification of the date of the first sitting by the President-elect. Over 100 MPs failed to recapture their seats, while others unsuccessfully contested other political seats at the polls. Hence, the need to prepare adequately for their orientation and induction into the House operations. As Kennedy Kimani now reports, the orientation sessions shall include registration of the members, briefings by the Office of the Clerk on essential legislative matters, among other things.
According to Article 126(2) of the Kenyan Constitution, incoming members of the National Assembly must be sworn in 30 days after the general elections. With the Kenyans having voted in their representatives at the National Assembly, the National Assembly has kicked off preparations for the orientation of the newly elected members of Parliament, with the acting clerk Sarah Kioko setting Thursday and Friday next week as the dates when the orientation sessions are going to take place. Over 100 MPs failed to defend their seats, hence they need to prepare adequately for their orientation and induction into the House operations. The orientation sessions shall include registration of the members, briefing on the use of the chamber voting system, briefings by the Office of the Clerk on essential legislative matters, among other things. However, various changes await the newly elected MPs in the National Assembly, one of them being scrapping of the 5,000 shilling sitting allowance for the MPs by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. For the first time, independent MPs will now have a members' caucus that will have a recognized leader in the House to champion for their agenda. The leader of the independent MPs will also sit in the coveted House Business Committee, which determines agenda to be transacted on the floor. Kennedy Kimani, Hope TV Newswatch, Nairobi.
Moving on, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya has blamed President-elect William Ruto of engaging in unlawful acts. In a statement, Raila Odinga Presidential Secretariat spokesperson Professor Makau Mutua accused Ruto of persuading Azimio la Umoja members to leave the coalition, a matter he says was illegal as none of the members had legally invoked the process of leaving the coalition. The statement comes at a time when Azimio la Umoja's UPIA party Bura MP-elect Yakub Ado Kuna and National Agenda Party of Kenya MP-elect Abdi Ali Abdi were welcomed by President-elect William Ruto into Kenya Kwanza. On Thursday, outgoing Mandera County Governor Ali Robert ditched Raila Odinga's Azimio movement to join President-elect William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza coalition. Meru Governor-elect Kawira Mwangaza, who vied on an independent ticket, has also joined the Kenya Kwanza team. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, continues to come under fire from Mombasa politicians over its decision to indefinitely suspend gubernatorial election. Former Nyali MP Hezron Awiti, who is also seeking the governor's seat for a second time, has threatened to move to court to sue IEBC, adding that he has already contracted his lawyers. Awiti said that the message by IEBC caught him by surprise since there was no official communication from the commission. According to Awiti, there were alleged plans by some officials to favor his opponents. On Wednesday, IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati released a statement saying the election scheduled for next week, Tuesday, had been postponed indefinitely, a decision that has not gone well with governor candidates in two counties of Mombasa and Kakamega.
Nafikiria kwamba IEBC is an independent body and they're supposed to make correct decision on behalf of Kenya. But it looks like it's a private company which can wake up, sit, and make a decision on behalf of Kenya. It's shocking. And what I would like to advise him is only appointed by the Republic of Kenya for the people of Kenya to manage election to standard which is required to the Republic, the People Republic of Kenya. So I'm still having a shock. And I'm already consulted my lawyer.
The Constitution is very clear. Article 180 says that the county governor shall be elected on the second Tuesday of August after every 5 years. Then the laws of this country, the election laws, are equally very clear. Article 55B, Section 55B, there are only 3 ways that an election can be postponed. 1, in the event that there's a serious breach of security, that those elections cannot be held. 2, In the event there's a natural calamity, and in this instance it's an act of God, that means if there's an issue of floods or anything of that nature. 3, that there's a breach in how the elections are conducted. We are going to court, and we're going to demand, because there are only 3 instances where an election can be postponed. 1, in the event that there's a serious breach of security. Let me ask you, have we had any incidences of violence in Mombasa? Nothing. None of those people, none of those staff members have even said that their lives are being threatened or anything at all.
Still in matters politics, Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni has dismissed rumors that the party is seeking to decamp to the Kenya Kwanza alliance. Kioni maintained that the political outfit was tied to the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition by their pre-election agreement, an agreement which he says has been deposited at the registrar of political parties. At the same time, Kioni warned the 28 legislators elected in the outfit against any alliance with the President-elect William Ruto-led outfit. He also cautioned independent candidates against affiliating with either of the coalitions, saying they risk losing their seats.
Let me caution those again who are elected on different platforms. If you are elected as an independent, do not be in a hurry to go and start pledging loyalty to another party. If you do that, I want to tell you it is a very one simple ground for a petition. You are elected as an independent, you must maintain that independence for the rest of your term in parliament. And we already have court cases or precedences that they can look at. So I see them learning to one side of the political divide to pledge loyalty, even wearing party colors. And I can tell you that any voter in the country can challenge their election in their continued presence in parliament, and they lose their seats. Equally, if you are elected on a particular political party, I urge that you desist from being tempted to practice political pastoralism, because it's like people are now have become political pastoralists. They want to go everywhere, Turia, things are not yet anywhere, and again, one can easily lose his or her seat in parliament because of that kind of political pastoralism. As a leader, you need to be seen to be stable, to know what it is that you stood for, and to push for what you stood for. Those who voted for you on whatever platform they did is because you are able to convince them that that is a good platform. But when you are seen to be running in the night, in the morning, in the day, it's like kama kuku anataka kuteka mayai kila pahali, it becomes disturbing to us, and you also create unnecessary instability.
Let's do one more story before we go for our first break here on Hope TV Newswatch. Kilifi County leaders who were elected in the just concluded general election have vowed to work together in order to bring a new face to the county and benefit electorate. Former Ganze constituency member of parliament, Peter Shehe, who sought and won the member of county assembly seat in Jaribuni ward, has promised to collaborate with the other leaders, regardless of the political parties, to serve electorates with dedication. Speaking at his Jaribuni home, where he held a colorful Thanksgiving ceremony and invited Kilifi County Governor-elect Gideon Mung'aro among other leaders, winners and losers from various political parties, Shehe said he is committed to ensuring that the area meets the standards of being a constituency on its own by 2027, according to the government's plans.
Watu wa kutoka hapa mara nyingi huwa wananiuliza, kwa nini wewe ulikuwa mbunge na sasa unataka umeng'ang'ania UMCA? Uongozi ni uongozi, na kama ukiwa umechaguliwa ni lazima kuna mahitaji ya watu wanatarajia watengenezewe lile ama lingine. Hapa sisi tulipata sub-county, na sub-county hii inataka watu ambao wako na ufahamu ya vile mambo yatakavyotengenezewa, manake 2027 tutakuwa na constituency. Mkazi wa Jaribuni kwa sasa atarajie kazi ni kazi, kwa sababu hapa pana majukumu mengi sana ambayo yanataka uangalifu wa hali ya juu wa kutafuta hela na miradi, watoto wasome, manake watoto wengi wamebaki nyumbani. Watarajie kwamba tutafanya ima faima. Kuna kundi la Education Foundation ambalo hilo ninataka kulipatia kipaumbele. Wao wanaweza kupata na kusanya na kuwasaidia kusanya pesa kidogo kidogo, tuwapeleka watoto shule.
Sisi tutafanya kazi pamoja, kwa sababu ajenda yetu kubwa ni kufanyia kazi watu wa Kilifi, na ule uamuzi watu walifanya watu wa Kilifi ndio tutaenda nao, iwe wa MCA, iwe wa MP, iwe wa viti vingine. Umuhimu ni kwamba wananchi walienda kupiga kura wakaamua, na sisi tumesema tufanye kazi pamoja. Ndio naona hata tuko na Viki hapa, tumekuja pamoja. Yeye alikuwa anagombania kiti hiki cha Kitashe. Sisi tunasema tu ile tunatarajia sasa ni tukimaliza kuapishwa tuanze kazi ya wananchi wa Kilifi.
Let's go for a fast break here on Hope TV Newswatch. We'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Yesu ndiye njia. Juu ya mwamba huu nitalijenga kanisa langu.
Hapa leo hii tuko na msikiti wa Mariamu, msikiti wa Yesu.
Kumbe kuna msikiti wa Yesu.
Ukiandika msikiti wa Yesu Kristo, mwana wa Mariamu, weka injili ndani, hubiria watu injili.
Kitabu ya Yohana inaandikwa 110 AD na Ufunuo Yohana 248 AD.
Na Qur'ani.
Mimi nakueleza habari ya Yesu kwanza, ufahamu hiyo kwanza.
Ungana na walimu wa neno wanapochambua masuala tata katika Biblia, wakiyalinganisha na vitabu vingine vya kidini.
Qur'an imekuja mwaka 600 baada ya Injili.
Yesu ndiye njia.
Biblia inasema pepo la nini? La uaguzi. Pepo la uaguzi maana yake inaweza ikajua wewe nyumbani kwako umetoka saa ngapi. Unajua mapepo yanajua hivi. Kwamba leo ulikula chakula gani.
Kama Bwana Yesu alitumwa kwa wana wa Israeli peke yao, wengine wetu ambao tunamwamini, basi sehemu yetu iko wapi?
Yesu ndiye njia. Kila Jumamosi saa 2 hadi saa 4 ya usiku kwenye runinga uipendayo ya Hope TV.
Thank you for staying with us. Moving on, Ministry of Education is rushing to complete CBC classrooms they promised before the docket is handed over to the next Education Cabinet Secretary. Speaking after commissioning 2 CBC classrooms in Kamiti Secondary School, Magoha maintained the completion of CBC classrooms was well on course, adding that some regions had registered 100% completion of classrooms.
We are doing extremely well. I think about 5 or 6 counties have now reached 100%, scattered across, that including Migori, Nyeri, some from the northeastern. In the regions, we have 4 regions that are doing extremely well: Nyanza, Central, Northeastern. We have a little bit of hiccup here in Nairobi and Western, and I want to urge my good officers in the field that we must pull together. We are at over 80%, which means we have less than 1,000 classrooms to build. Since there is none starting from the ground, they are mainly at walling and roofing levels. I still very strongly believe that we shall deliver by the end of next week, so that the incoming administration has a clean slate to build from. I think the issue of the portal being open and people utilizing the portal to choose subjects is going on well. I also want to reassure the general public that government is made of human beings, and that if at any time the 30th of August becomes an issue, we shall be prepared to adjust it.
The Public Service Governance, PSG, has embarked in a process that, according to them, should see Kenya establish a government without general elections, without political parties, and without any elected representation. PSG founder Esther Waringa opined that all leaders in all jurisdiction levels will be vetted and appointed through organs that will be established to undertake such a mandate. Waringa at the same time proposed a series of intervention in the public service sector, adding that PSG anticipates a double-digit economic growth once all interventions proposed are implemented.
Public Service Governance has initiated the Kenya Bila Uchaguzi Initiative, Kenya Without Elections agenda. We have embarked now on civic education on the same, and we must agree that Kenyans, yes, we can do without elections. If the voter apathy records are something to go by, if the current confusion in the country about who won the presidential budget, who won the presidential vote and who did not win is something to go by. If the confusion we are seeing in IBC with the commissioners is something to go by, if whatever happened in 2007, 2008, the country went totally down economically, socially, and politically, if it's something to go by, then Kenyans, we must bring elections to a total end. And we must agree that what has a beginning has an end. Democratic elections started 1992. We have had 7 series of elections. It is time to say no more to elections. Kenyans, how much did we spend in printing ballot papers that were envisioned to take care of 22 million voters in the country? We only had a voter turnout of 16 million. The deficit, or the mathematics of 22 million minus 16 million voting papers. Where did they go? That's a huge budget. A huge budget that could have transformed our education infrastructure development in schools. The budget that went into printing ballot papers that are going to waste because of the high voter apathy could have been used, injected in the economy to ensure that unga cost goes down.
A man who stole a laptop meant for voter registration from the IEBC headquarters this week has been arraigned in court but failed to take a plea, calling on the court to first take him to hospital. Musa Sirangi is alleged to have committed the offense on August 17th this year, and he is accused of stealing a MacBook which was valued at 226,250 shillings. According to court documents, Sirangi reportedly went to the Commission's office at Anniversary Towers on 17th floor, entered one of the offices and made away with the laptop before he was caught and taken to Central Police Station. Milimani Senior Principal Ondieki has directed that he be taken to hospital first, awaiting to be charged on Monday. Parents of children with cerebral palsy in Bungoma can now breathe a sigh of relief after being issued with free equipment to assist their children. This is after Bungoma County Police Commander Francis Kohli partnered with Nakuru Rotary Club to provide the children with free equipment. Speaking while issuing the equipment at the Bungoma Referral Hospital, Kohli called on different industry players to join hands in order to help such families who often depend on well-wishers to assist them. Sentiments that were echoed by Bungoma Referral Hospital Superintendent David Wanikina.
Today we are very happy and pleased to have our county police commandant here at Bungoma County Referral Hospital who has come in to support the initiative of rehabilitation for children with cerebral palsy and also children with hydrocephalus and other anomalies that they have. These children pass through a lot. And the numbers here in Bungoma County Referral Hospital are huge. So when we get this initiative of a well-wisher coming to our hospital to support these children, ours is to say thank you so much. On behalf of the children and on behalf of the families, their lives are going to change.
With partnership with Nakuru Menengai Rotary Club, we will ensure that we will have a number of those ones who will be benefiting from this initiative where we've started, and we won't stop. And even if we leave this county, we will leave it better than we found it. Thank you so much, Medsu, for granting me permission to come and donate this. We will continue with this partnership. As the National Police Service, we are there to reach our people, to support the government initiatives, to ensure that their rights are protected. This is one way of the National Police Service to prove that they are there for all, not only in terms of maintenance of law and order, but partnering with the community to make sure we are community and we have one goal to support each other.
Nilikuwa na changamoto sana kumlea juu huwezi mweka tu kwa kiti hapo na ukafanya shughuli zako za kawaida. Nashukuru sana kwa kunisaidia kupata hii wheelchair. Najua sasa hata nikimwacha akikaa pia mimi naweza toka nikafanya ABCD nikijua ako safe.
Now for some business news. More than 15,000 households in Taita Taveta, Nyandarua and Nyeri have benefited from a climate-smart technology that provides clean energy in their household cooking and also biofertilizer for their farms. Speaking in Weruga area, Taita Taveta County, KALRO Director General Eliud Kirega said climate change is real and it was time farmers adopt clean ways of farming and reduce use of chemical fertilizers that are harmful to the soil, environment and water bodies. According to Kirega, smart climate technology using biodigester will address soil problems and allow farmers to have more food that is sustainable for a long time.
Climate change, we are causing part of it. But it's also affecting us. It's affecting the farmers. It's affecting agricultural productivity, both in crops and livestock. So as a research organization, our duty is to assist the farmers to mitigate the effects of climate change. We are dealing with about 1,500 farmers, model farmers, to promote this technology with our partners, Pwani University, counties of Taita Taveta, Nyeri, Nyandarua. Today we're in Taita Taveta. We are working with the private partners, Afrisol and Kenya Biogas, who are the technology developers. Basically, we are promoting the technology so that farmers can be able to see and learn and adopt. And from the testimony of the farmer here today, he has been able to cut down on his costs of fertilizer by more than 50%.
Sasa nashukuru nilipata biogas, maana inanisaidia kupika, kanipunguzia mahitaji ya gharama za kupika, maana sasa hii gas imepanda sana. Gas imepanda sana sasa, si refill gas. Alafu mbolea, sinunui fertilizer siku hizi, naitumia tu hiyo mbolea.
If you use climate smart technologies, you can lower the emission from about 393 grams of carbon dioxide equivalent to around 163 carbon dioxide equivalent.
Now for some sporting news. After the experience at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, where they reached the cup quarters, the National Rugby Sevens team, Shujaa, switches attention to the season-ending Los Angeles Sevens on the 27th and 28th of August. Shujaa have been drawn in Pool D with Samoa, England and Scotland and will begin their campaign with a clash against the Samoans. Damian McGrath's Chargers will be looking to finish the season on a high with the experience picked up from Birmingham. The World Rugby Sevens Series season-ending tournament is scheduled for the final weekend of this month before teams switch attention to the Rugby World Cup set for South Africa next month. Manchester United could let Cristiano Ronaldo leave Old Trafford during the current transfer window amid concerns about how the striker's mood is affecting morale in the camp. Manager Erik ten Hag's public stance has been that Ronaldo is not for sale and is part of his plans. However, senior figures have been alarmed at how quickly the overwhelmingly positive feelings around the camp generated during a successful pre-season tour to Thailand and Australia have disappeared. The Portuguese has a year left on the contract he signed when he returned to the club from Juventus less than 12 months ago, but wants United to let him leave this summer. And that sports news brings us to the end of this live broadcast. Many thanks for keeping us company and to the amazing team who made this broadcast a success. My name is Grace Ongoy and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Boniface Morithi. Enjoy the rest of your programming and your weekend. Bye-bye.